Welcome. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Augusta, and Samhain blessings to you all. This is a place where we strive to create beloved community within ourselves, among our family and friends, and beyond this community out in the world. Here in the CSRA, we reside on the lands of the Westo people, the Savannah Shawnees, and the Yuchi peoples of the Muskogee Confederacy. My name is Janeya Filzen. I use she, her pronouns, and today I'm co-creating the service with Jezibell Anat, Josef Patchen, our music director, our choir, yay, it's growing in numbers, I love it. The talented folks running our tech deck, thank you so much. And all of you, we're all shaping this moment together. And I also just want to say thank you to those of you who dressed up. I love it. If anyone didn't get a chance to, I brought some accessories outside, just outside these doors. Feel free to grab something to enjoy the festivities. Today we celebrate a holy day that embraces this time of transition, transformation, and connection. Whether you're here in person or joining us virtually, we welcome and celebrate all of who you are. Now let us worship.
The candles are already lit on the ancestor altar, a beacon to those whom we have loved and lost, a beacon to us as we move into the longer nights and into the winter season. And this service is a little different from our regular services. And I invite you to begin with taking a few breaths. Bring yourself here. This whole service has an aspect of meditation. So I invite you to relax, focus inward, focus on how you're feeling, enjoy the beauty of the costumes, the season, the lights. And now we light our chalice for the final harvest, as we enjoy the bounty of the earth in the darkening season, as we enter the fallowness of winter. For those who are not familiar with Samhain, yes, it's spelled Samhain, but pronounced Samhain because it's an Irish Gaelic word. This is an ancient fire festival celebrating the departed. It has very ancient roots. A time of gathering before the darkening season, a time of honoring those who have gone before. Through Christianity with All Saints and All Souls Day, affecting Dia de los Muertos as well. This is a time when we honor those that we have lost. And this is something that our culture is not very good at. We often want to put that aside. We forget how to mourn. We're supposed to put on a happy face all the time. But this is a chance to remember what we have lost, and it's okay to feel. And what I will invite you to do, as we are blessed by original music from Joe Patchen today. The next piece is an original by him called Mourn My Bones. Those of you, if you have remembrances that you would like to place on the ancestor altar, feel free to come up. If you didn't bring anything, just think of someone that you loved who you lost this year. It could be a human. It could be an animal companion because we love our non-human kin. And also within the world, there has been such a loss of life with the situation in Gaza, with the shooting in Maine. And we know there are worldwide crises where life is lost unnecessarily that is not part of the natural cycle of life. And this is a time to sit with that and to honor that time of those who are no longer with us.
Open eyes and body or spirit for opening him.
Listen more often to things than to beings. Listen more often to things than to beings. Tis the ancestors' breath when the fire's voice is heard. Tis the ancestors' breath in the voice of the waters. Those who have died have never ever left. The dead are not under the earth. They are in the rustling trees. They are in the growing woods. They are in the rotting grass. They are in the moaning rocks. The dead are not under the earth. So listen more often to things than to beings. Listen more often to things than to beings. 'Tis the ancestors' breath when the fire's voice is heard. 'Tis the ancestors' breath in the voice of the waters. Those who have died have never ever left. The dead have a pact with the living. They are in the woman's breast. They are in the wailing child. They are with us in our homes. They are with us in this crowd. The dead have a pact with the living. So listen more often to things than to beings. Listen more often to things than to beings. 'Tis the ancestors' breath when the fire's voice is heard. 'Tis the ancestors' breath in the voice of the waters.
Why do we dress up this time of year by Jezebel? Why do we dress up this time of year? Things are not as they may appear. We love to pretend and be what we are not, beyond the limits of rule and thought. For some, this is simply a chance to be merry, to go out and collect all the treats they can carry. But these costumes are more than make-believe. They are part of the web we weave. The nights grow long, the wind blows cold, and we celebrate a holiday that is very old. When the leaves are turning yellow and red, it's Halloween, Samhain, and Day of the Dead. The summer is gone, the harvest is stored, and we honor the ones that have gone before. They have passed on, and their souls are freed, so we remember their lives and their deeds. And now some believe that the dead return from tomb, from grave, from coffin and urn, perhaps as ghosts, perhaps as spirits, a rustling in the wind for those who can hear it. We celebrate our altars to greet them. We offer the bread and the salt as we meet them. Our costumes and masks are more than a game, as we share their memories and speak their names. Once people would dress as spirits of the night, and ghosts and skeletons by candlelight, first to guide the dead on their way, and then for merriment and play. For when the dead return to earth, it is a time for reverence, a time for mirth, and we hold them deeply in our hearts, though we know they must depart. And as we can remember the ones we knew as they enter the gate that we all pass through, but we can respond with love, not fear, and so we dress up at this time of year.
Thank you, Azaria. Now I'd like to invite everyone who did dress up of whatever age. We are going to honor the ancient tradition of the costume procession. So whoever wants to come up, we'll gather around here. This will also allow the Zoom people to see all the costumes. We'll come around here. We'll be marching out that door, coming back in. So come and line up, and we have some special music. Join the line wherever you can. Thank you. Make it really theatrical going in. Yes, next year we want everybody up here. Because dressing up is fun for all ages. Thank you. And even some people who weren't in the procession have dressed up. I see you.
So I spoke about this last year, and it still felt relevant. So I hope you'll indulge me in some repetition. There's a common practice in the ancient world across continents that those who have passed on are buried with gold, coins, money, and precious gifts. But why is this? It's not just for royalty to flaunt their accumulated wealth. It was often as humble as a single coin. The mythos varies, but one well-known practice is placing a coin over the eyes or in the mouth This served two purposes. First, to make sure the soul remains in the next life and doesn't return to the body once it is placed in the tomb. And second, to provide fare for the journey to the next life. Charon of the river Styx demands a coin for passage across the river to the underworld. This payment is referred to as Charon's obol or viaticum, which is Latin for sustenance for the journey. This phrase is used even today to refer to Christian last rites. A gift from one person to another to provide them sustenance for their journey does not need to be left for funeral rites. What if we looked at our time, our money, our skills as sustenance for the journey that we can give to each other throughout life too? What if we placed a precious coin in the hands of those we care about to ensure their personal journey continues? And what if we were humbled by the coins that are gifted to us to help us along our way in our journeys? None of us have to go it alone or empty-handed if we all give generously now. Let's make sure this community has sustenance for the journey ahead. Would the ushers please come forward to collect these gifts? Thank you so much for these gifts. Death is a mysterious truth,
Yet our only certainty
a familiar enigma.
that punctures our heart
Daily we wrestle our own mortality.
within nature's cycle of growth and decay,
Be not attached to the form.
for everything changes.
The conclusion of a life well lived.
Painful but comprehensible.
The severance of a life in full flower.
Inexplicable agony.
We gather, we grieve.
We mourn, we adjust.
Be not attached to the form.
For everything changes.
The vibrant being,
Now a sad void.
the shadowlands loom.
To remind us of life's value.
Cherish our existence.
Soon we shall be the ancestors.
Be not attached to the form.
For everything changes.
Hello there, good morning. I'm Natalia Bowden, and I apologize for not having a costume on. I'm notoriously bad at that, but I did put on season-appropriate pants and a kind of cape, so I feel pretty good. That's more than usual. But I just want to talk to you this morning a little bit about the Memorial Garden, which I'm a member of the committee and representing them today. And I want to share a few words about the importance of the garden for our community and invite you at the end of the service into a recessional into the garden. So in our memorial garden, we honor those who came before us, those who were a cherished part of our community and who gave their gifts of love to us, either as poetry like Hoyt Goodson, or as voices in our choir like Cheryl Linsenmeyer, or as charter members of the church like Peggy Kelly, or as activist and trailblazer like Kay O'Hannison, who dared to help create the first integrated kindergarten in Augusta. We honor Josef Joey Abaratrena, who touched our lives and our community in so many ways. In the garden, we honor our beloveds like Hazel Burt and Erica Pohl. We honor Janet Reichard, outspoken and strong-willed, who I came to know several years ago during our Buddhist group that we had here at the church. And I shared hours with her before she passed in the nursing home. And when I was going through my own cancer journey and I couldn't go to the home to visit her because of my susceptibility to germs, she sent me books about a fearless and fearsome blind cat who took on a home invader. And that cat brought me joy, and the stories brought me feelings of empowerment that I still remember. We honor Don and Elaine Law, who gave of their talents and their humor. And we honor Earl Rice, who made this beautiful chalice and carved the beautiful bowls that we take our offertory in. All of these are children. Some are fathers, mothers, grandparents, spouses, or partners, but they are all dearly beloved friends. And all of this who came before us, who gave us their gifts, gifts of love and passion and activism, of labor and humor, gifts of welcome and community. We honor them today and always. May I ask that any of you here today who've had a hand in the Memorial Garden, either through the committee or through the formation of the garden or through financial support, would you please stand now so we may honor you? Thank you. Some of you know that in addition to my UU identity and upbringing, I also have been practicing Buddhism for a number of decades. And in Buddhism, one of the key teachings is the impermanence and change and death that is a part of all of our lives, just as the reading talked about, that we just heard. And that it's not something to be feared or turned away from, but rather something to be contemplated every day so that we can then learn how to live today well. And so in that spirit, I will invite you into the garden at the end of the service, and also invite you to consider how you would like to play a part in the memorial to our history and our beloveds and our ancestors. If you would like to contribute to the garden, either financially or with a designated bench or a plant, or with your gardening skills, please reach out to us. And if you would like to reserve a stone for someone you love or for yourself in the future, then reach out to Reverend Nick or myself or Richard Dillenbeck or Mindy Gales, the current members of the committee. So most of all, with support and care, may we always remember to honor the love and the legacy that is the center of our covenant community together. Thank you. Blessed be.
Now, this is the time where I invite anyone who would like to speak of their beloved dead, someone you might have lost this year in particular when the loss is very keen, or you may want to mention someone that has passed a while back, to come up and say something. I can also bring the mic to you if that's more comfortable. And I'm going to start by honoring my two beautiful girl cats who passed this year. They were both senior kitties. One was a gorgeous tabby named Cleo. She was a... We know that the fallow time is coming. And this is often a hard time for people, and it's okay. And I think that is something our culture is still uncertain about. And at one point, as many of you know, our families would do things like go to a cemetery and have picnics on the graves of their relatives. This is still something practiced in the Dia de los Muertos celebrations in Mexico, but it is not unique to that culture. And many traditions have had that honoring of sharing a meal with their departed. And that is the symbolism of the altar. It's currently sunflower seeds and water, because I don't know the tastes of everyone we're inviting in, but some of our symbolism here: black, the color of absorption, of dissolution, of bringing us all together. The red candles, the lifeblood. The candle over there with the cross is in honor of Miguel de Cervantes, who was one of the first our first Unitarian martyr. John Calvin put him to death for his anti-Trinitarian beliefs. So it is also a reminder of the sacrifices people have made, and to honor our heritage of fighting for justice, for freedom, as this church has celebrated. Black Lives Matter, the lives of the LGBTQ population, the rights of women, the right to choose. And we are constantly aware of those who have fought for our rights, and we are still fighting. We are still in a very troubled world. And it is okay to be honoring that. We are still coming through the pandemic, and many of us are still not okay, and a lot of things have not bounced back. And that is our symbolism of, this is not a particular goddess, this is a figure of the woman with the skull and the roses. And again, that is a multicultural symbol. And also the antlers, the life force, the life coming through in spite of death. And yes, we have the snakes on here, symbols of transformation, the ravens, the bird of prophecy. If you look at what seems to be scary Halloween symbolism, look at the spider and their web weaving. And these are our connections between life and death. And I'm so glad that so many of you are here, and the World Wide Web on Zoom, and I'm not sure who all is watching out there, but I'm just looking at everyone, just reminding us as community, as a diverse group, how we gather to honor this time of passing and honoring ourselves. And it is, as several people have said, and this is a lesson I learned with COVID, I
I am crazy now. If you see me on Facebook, I do everything I can. I rarely say no to things because we don't know what's going to happen. We are in a precarious world situation. So this is very much a time of we need to enjoy what we can because our ancestors cannot. We celebrate life to honor their legacy, to honor the legacy of those who fought for us. We are entering next year will be an election year. We need to vote. We need to make our voices heard, make our lives count. And that is what is the beauty of this church. So many of us can come together and celebrate life. And with the awareness not to sanitize the world, not to get into this like new agey, everything is wonderful and everything happens for a reason and all of that. Sometimes situations in the world are just bad. And we gather together to have the strength to work with them, to live with them, to dress up, to celebrate, to liberate the sides of ourselves that may want to be a unicorn or a pirate or a fairy princess or a skeleton or whatever we need to be, to whatever we need to do to make that fullness of the journey, to enjoy what we can, to take what we have, and to also realize that change is a part of life. And now we will have one more chant to honor our departed. Prayer for the dead, you guys should have it on the slide. And I heard the choir working on this morning, and it was beautiful. This is a chant by Sharon Knight and Seathorn Coyle.
Turn your eyes to the western skies, away from dusk of dreams gone by. 1,000 flames on the vast dark sea, light your way to eternity. Turn your eyes to the western skies, away from dusk of dreams gone by. 1,000 flames on a vast dark sea, to light your way to eternity. Turn your eyes to the western skies, away from dusk of dreams gone by. 1,000 flames on a vast dark sea, to light your way to eternity.
Now a moment of silence for those whom we have lost. And just a reminder for those who are struggling, our pastoral care team and Reverend Nick are here for you. If you need some extra support, Pat is on that team. There's Jan is on that team. So feel free to reach out if you need help in any way. That's what communities do. We support each other. And now our closing hymn is reminiscent of a New Orleans funeral. It's a jazz funeral, and it is reminding us to enjoy what we can while we are here. So please rise in body and spirit. I think most of you will know it when the saints come marching in. When the saints go marching in, oh, when the saints go marching in, I wanna be in that number. When the saints go marching in, and when the sun begins to shine, and when the sun begins to shine, I wanna be in that number when the saints come marching in. Oh, when the saints go into swing, oh, when the drums begin to play, oh, I wanna be in that number when the saints go marching in. Oh, when the saints go marching in. Oh, when the saints go marching in. Oh, I wanna be in that number when the saints go marching in. Please remain standing. In another moment, we will process into the memorial garden, and we will gather there, and we will sing Spirit of Life out there so that we can include those who are no longer with us, those who are out there. As the flame has guided our way, we're going to extinguish all the flames in here first for safety reasons. And I will ask, as we head out, that those who are in more physical shape, please assist anyone who may need a little help getting out there. And then when we come back, please take your personal mementos from the altar. But we're going to head on out to the memorial garden. And Daniel is including the Zoom people. We got it open before. We did this before, and yes, it will open. It is opening, so this is a little easier for everybody. Just be careful on the steps. More steps. Gather around carefully, please. And some of you can gather over there. Not sure how many are coming out. A little room, more room over here if some people want to cross over. Yes, there are benches if anyone needs to sit. Is everyone here who's coming out, or is anybody else coming? So I invite you again. We started with breathing with our ancestors. These are the names of some of our former members. I knew some of them. Some of you knew all of them. Some of you may never have met them. Some of us may be stones in here someday. But our tradition of holding hands, singing Spirit of Life, I think most of you may remember the words. If not, just feel free to hum. So now we sing it to them, and let's listen, and maybe we'll hear them singing with us. Spirit of life, come unto me, sing in my heart all the stirrings of compassion. Blow in the wind, rise in the sea, move in the hand, giving life the shape of justice. Roots hold me close, wings set me free. Spirit of life, come to me, come to me. We thank you for your legacy. We thank you for your presence to our children. I know this was probably a long service for some of you. We thank you for your energy. Know that one day you will be our leaders. Final drum salute to the connected web of community. Blessed be. Our service is over. If you would like to stay out here, you'd like to go get snacks and coffee. Anyone needs help getting back? I know some shoes. Hey. Thank you. Were you here last year for this?
I was probably in the back doing something.
Because we usually have the kids in here. I love your earrings.
Yeah, thank you, thank you. I told myself. I just noticed the earrings.
Yes, yes.